The time has finally come. We can build modern web apps with amazing user experiences without writing a single line of JavaScript. Yes, this is really possible, and in the next couple of minutes we'll look at how we can easily achieve it with HTMX. The idea is surprisingly simple. The plain old HTML is enhanced thanks to a few attributes and directives. As a result, DOM elements can both fire HTTP requests to a server and reload part of the UI when the response is received. This is a godsend not only for experienced developers who can increase their efficiency through this small yet powerful library, but also for people with little to no front-end experience who can now easily build an UI for their product. Before writing some code, let's quickly review the hypermedia-driven application architecture which powers all HTMX-based apps. First, you'll need a backend server, which can render and send HTML responses to the client. The received HTML will contain a script loading the HTMX library and various tag attributes to enhance the HTML default behavior. Once in the browser, HTMX will trigger async requests and perform DOM updates based on the user actions. This is actually an old approach of building apps, but with a small twist which combines the simplicity of traditional multi-page applications with the better user experience of single-page apps. Okay, so let's see this in action. In a new HTML page, I'm loading the script in the head area and then defining a customer section with a search field and a container for the results. The common behavior in modern apps is to react when the user triggers a search event, perform an async call to the server, and then update the DOM with the results. Of course, we want to do this in a smooth manner without fully refreshing the page. So we can use the trigger attribute to listen to key up or change events, the get attribute to perform an async request to the search path, and the target attribute to place the results in the DOM. This is intuitive and convenient, but we just scratched the surface of this approach. Most of the time, app data needs to be created, updated, and deleted, so let's see if HTMX delivers on these fronts as well. Quick side note, we can improve the UX of the search functionality by displaying a loading indicator while we wait for the server response. On top of that, I want to pre-populate the customer section area with all existing entities when the section is mounted in the DOM. Also, I can display an error if the request to fetch all customers failed. Next, let's take a look at the customers.html snippet, which is used by the server to compute the response HTML for both the search and the get all customers requests. The templating part is straightforward, but note that we will render an edit button which issues a get request to an edit form and a remove button issuing a delete request guarded by a confirmation step. This is one of the core ideas behind HTMX. There is no reason for HTML elements to only trigger get and post requests. After all, requests can be much more expressive and clearly specify their intention to the server. So, to reiterate, when the user triggers a search event in the index.html page, a request is sent to the server, the customer's template is used to generate the resulting HTML, and this HTML is then inserted in the page. Let's now move to the customer form HTML, where we'll follow the same easy approach to create or update users. The server will render a form and can pre-fill the customer information if HTMX also sent an ID with the get form request. Submitting the form will trigger a post request, and we'll check on the server if this is a create or update action based on the value of the hidden ID field. Once the action is completed, the server will use the customer's HTML template to render the new list of customers and will simply replace the form with the updated list. I know I said we don't have to write any JavaScript with HTMX, but it is worth mentioning that the library exposes a handful of JS methods which will give you more control over your app. For instance, you can traverse and alter the DOM, handle events, or register lifecycle listeners, all through a very intuitive API. This all sounds good on paper, but the reality is that HTMX is not a one-size-fits-all solution. There are a lot of scenarios where more firepower is needed on the front end. Don't worry though, I am focusing a lot on efficiency on this channel, and here are a couple of videos where I'm looking at more involved JavaScript stacks, but with a strong focus on simplicity. Until next time, thank you for watching.